Good morning, beautiful souls. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Thursday. We made it. One more day to go, man. But today, weekend is getting ready to start. Let's rock and roll, man. This was written down March the 9th, 2026. We was on day 68. And I told everyone, man, do something different, right? Time had went up since then, and time is still up. Your time is still up. So again, man, take a journey. Again, man, just if you going to work or you're coming home, just do something different. I'm trying to tell you guys, tap into something different. It's going to make you feel so good, right? We had 1,000 yesterday, guys. Like I say, I don't do 1, 2, 3 rundowns, but sometimes when you get numbers like with any thousand on the back, right? Normally, if anybody was listening, say if you just got a regular 8237, you don't have no zeros in your drawing, right? What I have discovered, numbers like, anything without a zero, you definitely got to watch out for 1,000. 1,000, I don't know. You might got to tag in the digit number. That will help you out just a little more. So if you look in your drawing and you seeing a lot of 4 digits and you don't have your zero, quite naturally you will get 1,000. So we had 1,000 in MD. Shout out to MD. I try to tag in a 6412, guys. There are a whole lot of numbers that you can use to run your numbers down. As you can see, the 6412 didn't take it. We was five numbers off, right? So we were short. We didn't get the zero to come back, so it gave us a 5. So we know that didn't work, right? So it came back as 0051, right? Many might say, well, what do you do, when things like that happen? I don't know, right? You probably just want to keep stretching it out, but it's really no need. The number didn't come back till its proper form, all right? So what you might want to do is, I think outside of the box, you just probably want to add a 5. Right, if we 5 digits off, you probably just want to add a +5 to any of your numbers, right? You just probably just will want to add a +5. So in MD, just say if you plan a 4 digit today, just plus it 5, maybe. That's just my assumptions, guys. Throw it out. Who cares about what you assume? Guys, yesterday I need to be bent over and somebody just need to take a big old boot and kick me straight in the behind. Yesterday I was just sitting around in the house. Got that intuition, man. 1101, bro. It just jumped in my spirit, right? 1101. And lo and behold, look what came out in DC. But Kent Crowd with Spilled Milk is just letting me know, bro, you're onto something. So now I use 1, 2, 3. I use 1, 2, 3, 4, right, for MD. And we actually have us some numbers that I want you all to look at, right? Again, 1, 2, 3, 5, right? That's where it starts off at. It ends at 9877. Normally, what I like to do over here is I'll look for numbers that's the same on the outside, right? So what does that mean? What do you see on the outside, man? 3715. Keep that in, right? 3715. Keep it in. You have, again, 5814. Keep it in. 4185. Keep it in. Look, I think we have 1, 2, 3, 5. It's slanted across somewhere. That's what I normally look for. Look, 52, 1, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 5. So you might want to play that. Let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's a sum of 11. Today is, so I know we get a Friday the 13th. So if today is the 12th, tomorrow is the 13th. So today is the 12th, sir. So we're living off 2, 7, 5s, and 9s. Is that idea? I don't think so. But just in case you just want to know your day digit numbers, what does that mean? 603s are your numbers. And shout out to my sister down there. She's from Texas, guys. I actually cashed after her, and she did tell me thank you. So I appreciate that I could have helped her out, So she did reach out. So again, in MD, I want you to keep some of these numbers in. This is going to be a little long-winded because I want to talk. I got us some numbers. I wrote some of the numbers down. Today is the 12th, right? So we're looking at MD and we're just looking at some numbers, right? We know 2, 3, 7s, they normally come together. So we're looking at MD. We trying to figure out us some numbers, all right? So again, whenever you see, let's see, how did that go? Whenever you see a 12, consider a 15, right? Did that go that way? No, I don't think that's the proper way. Okay. let's see, how does this go? So we're looking at MD numbers. We got 60 here. Don't forget, whenever you get a 071, play at 188. Did it come in MD yet? I don't know. Here's the 88. It's biting a little bit. Biting is not going to help us, brother. 884. All right, so let's see. What are your numbers actually doing? Any or odd numbers as of yet? Any or odds? I don't think so. It doesn't look like it. Any or odd numbers, right? Okay, so we have one. So you could pretty much look at your numbers and determine what they are lacking of. Don't forget 975. Got a lot of 97s in here. 97s. So with this 97, well, I was going to say a 04. We'll still put it here, 04. Whenever you see a 97 go 04, here's the 04 started off here, right? It doesn't make a difference what order it's in. If you see it, consider it a 97. Here's a 04. There's your 97s. We gotta get a hot spot right here. 16, 16s, 23s. 16 is a 23. 16, there's a 23 up in there. So Maryland, I would not know. Let's see, 457s. We just came off of that. We know that can bring you 121. We know this is a trigger number as well. Look like MD have hatched pretty much all of their numbers. Don't forget 33s bring you 88s. Here's an 88 right there. So it looks like MD is doing what it's supposed to do. But now here's the hot spot. 66s, 59s. No 59s here. No 59s. Where's the 59? Where's the 59? Where's the 59? Where's the 59? We just going to slide it right here. Again, we don't have no 59 pair. We just going to hit MD right here. 59. 59.0 through 599. So we just going to say 590 through 599. All right, so we got that out of the way again. Did we see any 59s? No. So it's a 59 pair. We got to play. Look at all these 66s. Got to run a 59. Guys, on the thumbnail, you will see. Y'all might have heard me talk about the early days in the 90s. You might see, if you see it on the thumbnail, you will see brother Malik, right, from the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., by way of 1414th Street, man. You know, it's a known neighborhood. And quite often, guys, like I said, you know, coming up in my era, you might hear guys today, you know, just talk about Muslims and how, you know, they just start, you know, coming around and they just start appearing out of nowhere. These are the brothers who I was talking about when I said that, you know, they kind of like, you know, during the era of the 90s, when, as you probably can figure, you growing up being a Muslim and your parents having to come to school, you know, with the clothing that they wear and things like that. And there's a few more others that I know. Those are the guys who came up in that era when it was frowned upon to become a Muslim, you know, to be a Muslim. You know, these were the guys who paved the way in Northwest Washington, D.C., right? You have a few. I went to school with Abdul. You have Malik. You have Farah. You have Rahman. You have Chiefy. I believe Chiefy is still incarcerated. So these are the guys who kind of like paved the way. It's just a few of them, right? It's many more. But see, when you are in an age bracket, when you feel like you know everything, and look, again, we can't control when we was born. Just like some might say, well, you born in 77, bro. I can't control that I was born in 99 or 2000 or 2004. But you got to sit back, guys, and if it will help, get to know and understand the history in Washington, D.C. Because what I be looking at right now, you know, as an older guy, 48, and you're talking to young guys, and you know, you're just letting people know, hey man, you don't want to go that route. The lack of respect that us older guys, if you want to say OGs, I'm not no OG, man, so, you know, I'm not going to try to live up to that title, right? But guys like the Mahdi brothers, they actually paved the way for younger men now today to convert to Islam. And want to serve Allah. They made it okay to wear, the attire that you can wear without getting laughed at. Now, these guys came up in the mid 90s when, when you're talking about DC, you're talking about crime, and not to get into details, but if you know these guys, right? They held their own. It wasn't no jumping out there with these guys, right? They didn't go around starting nothing, but you knew if you jumped in their lane, you knew the consequences. So when you see younger guys taking shots at the older generation that done paved the way in the early 90s, you got to be careful, man. You really have to be careful if you care. If you care, you have to be careful when you talking about, oh, you washed up. And if that's the way you feel, let it be. Just say, man, look, man, it's kind of like a new era, man. We're not going for that. Hey, the folks that came up before you, they wasn't going for it. So how does that work? How is that going to work for you? How is that going to work? So you got to be real careful when you plan with certain people out here, man, because just like you feel that you might can be untouchable, man, you got guys who already done been there and done that, man. And many just might want to look these brothers up. Many might just want to look them up, because I'm not going to go in details about them. If you from Northwest Washington, D.C., you already know their story. Shout out to Malik, Dynamite brother. I remember seeing him a whole lot of times, man. I remember when he had the Ford Acura sedan. Then he went to, Newton Street, rather, Georgia Avenue. He went on to sell him some shoes, with Dynamite Entrepreneur. Those are some smart brothers, man. They are some smart brothers, man. A beautiful family. And, I'm sure they have daughters and, sisters and stuff like that. But, yeah, man, do your homework on those guys, man. It's going to be on the thumbnail. These were the guys that I was talking about, right? So to the newer generation, man, when you thinking you know everything, man, you got to do your homework on people, man. Just try. Just try. Maybe that'll save you some trouble. I know we all get on the internet and we like to bash people, but man, you gotta do just a little homework on people, man. Especially if you're thinking about coming outside and wanting to hang out. You don't know who people know, man. So with that being said, I'm gonna leave you with this MD, man. Shout out to you. Peace out, guys. Whatever you do, stay out of the way. I'm gone.